everyone. Happy Monday. How are we doing? I am going live from my little creative studio because they're paving our street today, which is very random on a Monday morning. And it's more drama than the Real Housewives. I feel like a bus just popped a tire and it's like broken down. There's all of this traffic. They're like saying, back up, back up. It is mad drama in front of my house right now. So I am filming from here so that hopefully you guys won't hear a lot of the background noise. Good morning, everyone. Hi. So today I want to do something a little bit fun and different where I want to help you guys know how to get Instagram to get clients for you, right? Like, what are some things that you can do, things you can be putting in place when you're posting content, when you're putting yourself out there, that is just going to trickle in clients to you, use Instagram's features, organic reach, all of that stuff for your benefit so that you don't have to work quite so hard, which I think is on all of our 2024 lists for this year. Is like, I want to maximize what I'm doing where I can do less but with better results, right? Or when I do spend time creating content, putting out a post, how can I make sure I'm setting that post up and getting everything out of it that I possibly can? So a lot of this today is going to be about specific features. So hashtags, captions, reels, we're going to talk about keywords, okay? And for those of you who have hung out with me for a while, you know that I really see two ways of building your business, okay? There's going to be passive ways and active ways. So this talk today is really about passive ways. They're things we're setting up, we're putting into place so that we don't have to go and manually do every single thing. Although to grow in like the best time frame, and if you're like, no, Ren, I need 10 clients like tomorrow, then you're going to have to jump into that active phase way more. But while we're posting content, why not have these kind of passive activities set up so that, like I said, each and every piece of content you're putting out there is going to leave breadcrumbs for people to find your gingerbread house or whatever fairy tale works for you. Okay, so this is for you today. By the way, for those of you that are here, can you just say like, I hear you, or I'm ready, or something like that, just to let me know that you guys can hear me and see me okay, and that you're ready to get going. So this talk today, this training is for you if growing your clientele and online presence is on your list for 2024, okay? If that's on your list, you're in the right place. This is for you if you get overwhelmed by trying to figure it all out on your own. Who doesn't, right? We can Google something and 1,000 different results come up. There's so many people on Instagram giving out education, and it's hard to understand, is that only relevant if I'm a national or international educator? Is it relevant if I am a local business? Like, how does that apply to me as a local business, as a local salon? And that's what we're doing today. We are talking about your local business. It is different for local businesses than it is for a lot of these generalized tips that you're going to be able to find on Google or from these other educators that are out there that kind of just teach Instagram hacks, right? Okay, this is for you if you already feel good about how you're showing up and you're just looking for new ideas to make it easier, or to make sure, like, is how I'm showing up still working? Is it still relevant? What do I need to change, or am I still set to go? And then lastly, this is for you if you haven't been able to be consistent up until now. It happens, right? Life happens. We are not just getting to be business owners and then getting to switch completely off and have a personal life and vice versa. Like, life has a huge impact on what we do in our business. And so maybe that's why you haven't been able to be consistent. Maybe you're just overwhelmed. But if you need inspiration, encouragement, and a little bit of motivation to be more consistent, to really have a strategy, then this should be able to help you. So, okay, I see and hear you. Hi. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys so much. So, like I said, there are two main strategies when we're growing our business. And what happens is we have passive and we have active. Now, on my page, I talk a lot about active strategies because that is the main thing we can control. The thing about passive strategies is they're more of like a long-term deal that you're setting up, right? They're going to take time to get momentum. You might have 3 people come and see you from these passive strategies. You might have 100, but they're not as in your control as you want them to be. But they are going to get you in front of more eyes and give you more opportunity. Like I said, if you're putting stuff out there, why not make sure it is getting the most reach in front of the most people and like the best that it can be. So these strategies are not going to get you a client tomorrow. So that's where you really want to go to those active pieces. But let's just go ahead and jump into these. So we have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 main Instagram updates, features that we really need to be aware of as we move into 2024. And so the first one is all about stories. So in our stories, and I saw this a lot like when stories kind of first got big, but it hasn't happened recently. I think it's fallen off. Like either we're forgetting, we just aren't prioritizing it. Maybe we've done it before and didn't see a lot from it. But when you post a story, putting your location in the story and then putting up to 5 hashtags in your story is showing that in 2024, so as we're moving into this new era, that is really going to boost you organically. So organically just means without having to pay to boost, without having to run an ad or something like that. Like naturally, more people looking for the location, looking for those hashtags are going to be able to find you. So again, you're already making a story. Let's make sure as many people as possible can find it. Now, if you don't want those hashtags and locations center stage in your story, which I get it, it might mess up like the main message of your story, the overall aesthetic of what you're trying to do, then what you can do is you can actually hide them. You can make them really small, so like pinching them and making them small, or you can hide them behind another element. So let's say you add a GIF, you can kind of like make the GIF bigger, make the words smaller, and then tap them until they're where you want them to be. So you can actually hide those things in there, but still get all of that organic reach from those hashtags and then from those locations. So this is definitely on my list of something that I want to be working on. And then because you guys are local, you're growing local followers, the location piece is so important because who wouldn't want to have people from your location coming and seeing what you're talking about? Okay, so that's the first one. So the second one is that Instagram's SEO, which is search engine optimization, is continuing to grow and it's here to stay. So traditionally in like traditional marketing circles, SEO was really only talked about when it came to Google, right? Like if you put out a blog, if you're building a website, then you would need certain keywords and certain phrases in order to make sure that that was helping you rank on Google. So Instagram really released more like SEO features last year, and this is going to keep going. So making sure like these few things I'm going to tell you about this, these are going to help your profile get seen quicker or higher in search results when someone in your area is looking for stylist in Tampa, right? Or balayage, balayage near me, or like whatever. This is really going to help make sure your profile and your content is getting discovered. So what does this look like? The first thing is going to be hashtags need to be in your caption, okay? So I'm still seeing a lot of people put the hashtags as that first comment, which we were doing a lot in 2022, 2021. The hashtags need to come into your caption, and this is because anything in the comments is not going to help your SEO or help your profile get discovered. So when you're doing those hashtags that are Tampa Salon, Tampa Hair, Tampa Stylist, Tampa Balayage, those keywords aren't being read by Instagram to show your profile. Could you still see your picture maybe if they were in the comments? I don't even know. Honestly, I haven't tested that in a while. But if you want to use it to show in hashtags and help your SEO and keywords get your profile found way faster, put them in that caption, okay? Also, we're looking more at keywords, okay? So this is similar when I was saying about blogging and stuff. So what we want to do is when you're writing captions, making sure that you're including a few of those important things. So if it's your city, if it is the service type that you're doing, if it is anything like that, if you're doing a caption that doesn't involve a lot of that, like let's say you're doing a tutorial or a how-to or something like that as your caption, then what you can do is hashtags, and you can check out one of my latest posts to kind of see a visual of what this looks like, but your hashtags, and then underneath it, you could just write some keywords, right? So Tampa Balayage, Tampa Brunette, Tampa Blonde, Tampa Platinum Blonde, Tampa Hairstylist. You can actually write these phrases and keywords underneath your hashtags to make sure that you are going to show up for those and that Instagram is registering that that is what your content is about, okay? So that is how when people are searching for you, they're going to be able to find you. Now, keywords are also important in your bio. So if you don't have your city, your title, some of your specialties in your bio, definitely get on that train because that is one of the main ways that that stuff comes up. But again, when you're adding this stuff to your caption, and set it up in your notes, right? Set up different blocks in your notes that have to do with different services and then easily have them so you're not trying to sit there and think like, I don't even know what would go on this, right? Set yourself up for success with this. But this is an easy way to get your content in front of the most people, right? You're spending your time putting it together, writing a caption, taking photos, or putting a video together. Let's get it in front of the most local people that we can. Okay, so the second one is relevant captions. Now, I have been seeing more of a shift to this. Like when I started talking about this, like 2 years ago, I feel like this was still something that people were like, wait, what? You know, they still wanted to be using music lyrics and stuff like this. So this is getting better, but you need to have relevant captions to your city and to your dream client. I also want you to think about this in terms of like, what would get a woman from Tampa, a woman from Minneapolis engaging with your content? So maybe you can make inside jokes about your city. Maybe you can talk about like very specific things. Every city has kind of unique quirks and things that it's known for. So like, don't be afraid to lean into some of that because again, when you're building a local business and you're growing a local clientele, you don't want to do something that's a little too general that could attract anyone or could get anybody liking it. You want to make sure that it's specific enough that the Tampa woman is going to see it, share it, all of her Tampa friends are going to love it, and then come and follow you. So make sure your captions are relevant to obviously what you're doing, positioning you as an expert, but also your city. Don't forget to do fun stuff like that. Okay, so then we have Reels. And I know there's been a lot of back and forth, like Instagram announced like, okay, photos are fine, carousels are doing well. So here's the thing. For organic reach, right? So without having to boost, without having to pay, video is going to get you seen by the most people. So it is going to get in front of the most people than the other content. They released some data that said that photos specifically, not a carousel, but a photo is only shown to your existing followers. So that's fine. Like, people follow us for a reason. They're gonna love it. But if our goal, right, is to have this strategy where Instagram is helping us build a clientele, we definitely want to give Instagram the content that is going to get seen by more people. So if we're looking at video and that makes you so annoyed, okay, and you're like, Ren, I don't want to record skits, I don't want to lip sync, I don't want to have these templates, I don't want to show like my personal life, that's not my vibe, I have some ideas for you, because honestly, like, there's really easy ways to put video together. And I think that because we're naturally like creative, artistic people, we have this vision that immediately pops in our head when we think about making a video, or we think about making a reel, and we get so overwhelmed by how to execute it, how to make it perfect, that we get caught up in the weeds, and then what? We do nothing, or we get it started and then never finish it because we're not in the mood anymore. So my biggest tip on having more videos is going to be using your regular phone camera. So we're not even logging into Instagram. We're not creating a new reel and then using a template. We're not going to open an app that's going to do anything for us. We're using our camera roll just to capture more moments, okay? So this is called B-roll. Okay, so B-roll, that's kind of like more behind the scenes or in the moment, more candid kind of footage. And then we are going to be able, when we are ready to make a reel, we're already going to have tons of videos, tons of little clips, tons of different things that we can put together and go as complicated or as easy as possible, but get these out, right? So whenever you do sit down to do this, you're not just like, no clue what to do, which happens. It happens. And then once we go through that cycle enough times, we just shut down. It's like, oh, that's not for me. So what I want you guys to do is, when you're pouring your coffee in the morning, just take a quick 3-second video of it. Take a video of your outfit before you leave the house. When you're in your suite, do a quick like spin around of what the suite looks like. Mixing color, take a couple seconds. It could be videos, it could be photos. Obviously, your befores and your afters, or you're in the process. But the point here is like, just take photos of everything and then worry about how it's going to come together later. Because the reason why we don't put out videos or we shut down when it comes to reels is not because we don't have an idea. It's usually because we don't have the stuff to go with the idea. And so then to make that idea happen, we have to go do something for an hour and it's just not going to get done. Okay, so put more effort into videos. So like I said, showing your suite or workspace, doing slideshows. So if you only have photos, put them into slideshows in a reel. It's super easy. You can do a balayage or blonde one. You could do a red one, a brunette one, a long hair one, a medium length, a short hair, right? So it's like clips of your clients with long hair or your clients with red hair. And then maybe on top of it, you voice over something. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just write it in the caption, I love red hair, or tips for keeping your red hair vibrant at home. Like, this is how you can make it so easy on yourself. Like I said, doing some behind the scenes thing. When you're pouring coffee, before you leave the house, what does your outfit look like? In the car, thoughts before you walk into your suite. Just a view of your suite, a view of your retail, a view of you mixing color. Just take a ton of photos, a ton of short video clips. Get the freaking clouds. Like, we are overcomplicating this so much, but videos get shown to so many more people, so it is worth it when you're trying to grow, when you're trying to get the most out of every piece of content you put out there to put them into a type of video. Okay? So the last tip number 4, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so tip number 5 is really, it's just about consistency. So even with SEO for your website, SEO on Instagram, organic reach on Instagram, all of it is built by consistency. The person who has the most consistent keywords, the most consistent captions, the most consistent posts is always going to get shown more, not necessarily because of follower count, but just because they have taught the algorithm, they have taught Instagram what their account is about, and Instagram can confidently, because it's not a being, but it can confidently recommend your page because it knows what your page is. When algorithms don't know what your posts are about, your page is about, it can't recommend you. It can't show you to more people. But these are the things when you're consistent that are going to see, like you will see your reach specifically and your insights increase so much, okay? But consistency is so important. With this, I know it can be tiring to feel like this is something that you're always going to have to keep up with. However, welcome to being a business owner. Every business in existence has to keep up with marketing for the rest of the time their business is open. But something that can make it easier is just when you do see a post, okay, I'm sorry. I told you, the drama with the paving of the road in front of my house. Okay, so when you see a post, whether it's a photo, a carousel, a video, when you see something do extra well, when you have a story that gets a ton of extra views, screenshot it. Screenshot it and just have it in your phone. Use the save button for posts or videos and save it to your own little file in Instagram that's like, my own content that did really good, right? So then you can go back to those popular or successful posts, videos, carousels, and stories on a regular basis. It's the hardest the first time that you're kind of getting this ball rolling because you are trying a bunch of stuff. You don't know yet what is going to work, what's not going to work. But once you're established, once you're going like 60 days, 90 days, you already have so much information that you can start to recycle, use in new methods, and all of that. And just don't forget, don't feel this pressure to use the Instagram app, use these video cutting apps, these photo editing apps. Just use your camera roll to get a lot of that footage firsthand so that then you have tons of things that you can cycle and use again and again in your videos and in your posts. If you missed last week's episode all about 2024 trends and predictions, 2023 was like the year of marketing, but 2024 is really the year of the personal brand. It's the year of like people wanting to get to know you and authentically you. So we don't have to feel this pressure to like perfectly stage our counter, to take a picture of our coffee mug. We don't have to worry about, getting all glammed up in order to show our face in our videos or stories. It's really about coming with that authentic presence and allowing people to see the real us. People, especially millennials and Gen Z, which are the next high buyers in our industry, like they don't want to do business with a logo. They don't want to do business with a color coordinated Instagram feed. Like they want to do business with you as a person. And I think a lot of these things are going to make it easier to continue to show up and do that. Whatever your goals are, wherever you are in your business, just know that you are doing enough and it's okay whether you want to do more, whether you just want to be consistent this year, whether growing a personal brand or growing a following to get brand deals is on your list or not. Like, it is okay, whatever your aspirations are in this industry. If you're going to take the time to make the content, make the videos, you might as well just make sure they get seen by the most amount of people as possible. So I hope that these tips today felt easy, felt like something you can see yourself using right away. I'm just going to recap them really quickly. The 4 features that I would be using and watching out for to grow your local business behind the chair in 2024 is going to be using hashtags and locations in your Instagram stories, really getting your Instagram SEO, getting your profile able to be found when people are searching for it through hashtags in your captions, also using keywords with hashtags and just paying attention to that, tightening up your bio and making sure you're showing up for the right things. Number 3 is really relevant captions, not only to your dream client, but also to people in your city. Don't be afraid to use inside jokes, talk about the quirks, call out the funny stereotypes and things like that. And then lastly, making more videos. Videos are hands down going to get in front of way more people. So I gave you tons of ideas on how to make more videos easily and honestly just take the pressure off of yourself. So I hope that this has been helpful. Please, if you're an audio listener, subscribe to the Successful Hairstylist podcast, leave a review, share with a friend who you want to send some encouragement to, and let's just make this year as profitable but also fun and like less pressure and doing less work and feeling less like we have this part-time social media job than ever. So thank you guys. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day and I will see you all soon.